Ravens flock, we are almost at 13,000 subscribers on the channel. Just 44 away from our next milestone. For the latest news and rumors, live shows, watch parties, Q&A, mailbags, and more, subscribe now for free for the latest happenings on your favorite team, and we'll get started with today's show. Jason Pierre-Paul, could he be coming back to the Baltimore Ravens? Welcome into this edition of Ravens Rundown. Tyler Jones here with you as we got some interesting news today that JPP, our old friend, has expressed interest in making a return to the National Football League. And you may recall, most recently played with the Baltimore Ravens. And so that begs the question, could a return be in the cards not just to the NFL, but also back to the Baltimore Ravens? Here's more from Rap Sheet tweeting out this morning. Free agent pass rusher Jason Pierre-Paul, one of the top rushers still available, is now willing to sign with the practice squad of a playoff contender, per sources. He started 13 games for the Ravens last year. Now, I'll be frank, of what we saw from JPP in those 13 starts that he had, a part of this Ravens team in 2022, he didn't bring a whole lot. And if we're looking at needs of sorts and being on the market to make said move, the Ravens are not desperate, okay? I am not opposed to this idea, and I'll explain and show some numbers coming up in just a moment here. But to put it simply, this is not something the Ravens are picking up the phone. It's not like Eric DeCosta got the tweet alert today from Rap Sheet and said, oh, damn it, I got to call JPP and I got to sign him right now. We have to have him on this team. This is an emergency. It's not that type of ordeal. But I'm open to the possibility, and we'll examine it here in just a moment. But first, our pinned comment today, your chance to be Eric DeCosta, the GM of Ravens Rundown. Let us know who, if you think the Ravens should bring back JPP, if they should sign him or not. Why for yes, in for no, way in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Now, the case for Jason Pierre-Paul is this. I think this is the best case that you can make, is that you simply can't have too many pass rushers, right? When you look at championship rosters and championship contenders, typically you're talking about a rotation of guys, a lot of different players available to compete at a high level, right? And having so many pass rushers to keep that rotation going if there's an injury or if a guy gets tired, whatever it may be. And so for JPP, who I wouldn't pay a whole lot of money for and is older in his career and all that, I would say the best case for him is the fact that you can't have too many pass rushers. And then the practice squad idea. If we're going to be frank, JPP is better than probably most players on your practice squad. So bring him in for a workout, see if he's got the chops, if he still has something left in the tank, and then potentially you could promote to the active roster from there. That would be the best case I think you could make for JPP. The resume for JPP speaks for itself. This is a guy that won 2 Super Bowls, 3-time Pro Bowler, has been a winner and part of great cultures everywhere he's been, with the New York Giants, with Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, and last year with the Baltimore Ravens. He already knows this scheme and everything. Remember, this is the same defense that Mike McDonald has this year as he did last year. So it's a situation, if JPP does want to come back, if the Ravens want to have him back, you plug him and play him right away. If JPP is up to snuff and in shape and everything, then he's going to be good to go immediately. So there's not going to be a learning curve if you decide to go this route. Got some numbers I want to show you on JPP and comparing him to the rest of the Ravens in just one moment. Before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks, the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works, folks. You pick 2 or more players, and you get the choice of several different categories. This week, I'm rolling with a couple different Ravens on Prize Picks, Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews. And you better believe, if I'm choosing Ravens, I got to go with more, right? We want more with our Baltimore Ravens. I got more on passing yards for Lamar Jackson. I got more on receiving yards for Mark Andrews. That's 54.5 on Mark Andrews. That's 218.5 passing yards on Lamar Jackson. If I put $20 down on both of these, then my return on investment will be $60. Play along with me at home. Let's make some money together at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the promo code CLNS for a $100 deposit match. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. That's prizepicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS to play along with us today. So here's the numbers for JPP. Last year was okay, wasn't great, wasn't bad. He had 3 sacks, 5 tackles for loss, and 25 tackles. The year prior, 2.5 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and 31 tackles. The last time we saw him play at an extremely high level, you go back to the COVID year in 2020, when he had 55 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 9.5 sacks, and 2 fumble recoveries back then. That's the last time we saw him play really well. You're not likely going to get that same JPP from 2020, but at this juncture, as a rotational pass rusher, if you can get similar production to what you saw last year, I don't think anyone would be complaining. Now, here's where the Ravens are looking at. Jadeveon Clowney has looked really good so far in 2023. Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen, Odafe Owe. The big X factor has been Kyle Van Noy, who the Ravens brought in at the end of September, and he's second on this team in sacks right now. He's been awesome. So if you want to throw him in this rotation with these outside linebackers, with these edge rushers, then you could be talking about keeping him fresh, be a difference maker potentially. If he's willing to not take a ton of money, because remember the Ravens don't have a lot to spend, then this could make sense. The bottom line, too, the Ravens' pass rush this year has been absolutely incredible. One of the best pass rushes in the NFL, third in the league in sack percentage right now. We mentioned how well Van Noy has played. He's got 5 sacks. Jadeveon Clowney's got 3.5 sacks, as does Patrick Queen. Kyle Hamilton with 3. Justin Matabuke with 7.5 here. So this is not a problem right now, but you get a little insurance policy potentially. Might not be a bad option with JPP to be that potential guy to fill in the gaps of sorts if there's an injury or just having another pass rusher. To me, it could potentially make a ton of sense for this Baltimore Ravens team. So while pass rusher may not be a need, kind of a luxury of some sorts, what is the biggest need for the Baltimore Ravens right now? Weigh in that comment section. Tell me what you think it is. I know the Ravens look like a complete team. Everybody's telling them how great they are, championship contender and all that. What's the biggest need right now? Weigh in that comment section. Tell me what you think. For more Ravens coverage, subscribe now to the channel as we talk about your team each and every day here on Ravens Rundown. Help us get to 13,000 subs, and we'll see you next time right here on Ravens Rundown.